Welcome to the Daily Devo. Today we are talking about spiritual gifts. In a letter to early Jesus followers, Paul is informing them about spiritual gifts that God distributes. And after talking about their purpose, what these gifts are, and who gives them, he moves in to talk about how they all work together. Just for a minute, have you ever been jealous or envious of someone else's stuff? Maybe a little bit or not so much. You've been jealous of their stuff, their life, their natural talent. Like most humans navigate this at one point or another. We like their car or their ability to connect with people. We like their artistic or their athletic ability, right? And we start to rank differences if we're not careful. We can say that being a champ at proper grammar is somehow less than being a champion at comforting people when they are hurting, or vice versa. Well, the same thing started happening with spiritual gifts, and Paul is going to use this illustration to help us understand a truth he's trying to convey. So let's listen to it. We're going to read 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 12 through 14. Paul says, "Just as a body, though one, has many parts, but all its many parts form one body, so it is with Christ. For we are all baptized by one Spirit so as to form one body, whether Jew or Gentile, slave or free, and we are all given one Spirit to drink. Even so, the body is not made up of one part, but of many." So what he's saying is that each of the different gifts, that together they make up one body. Now, a human body, it's not just one thing. It's made up of many different parts, right? We have bones, we have organs, we have hands, we have eyes. Well, listen to what he says next in verses 15 through 20. He says, if the foot should say, "Because I am not a hand, I do not belong to the body," it would not for that reason stop being a part of the body. And if the ear should say, "Because I am not an eye, I don't belong to the body," it would not for that reason stop being a part of the body. If the whole body were an eye, where would the sense of hearing be? If the whole body were an ear, where would the sense of smell be? But in fact, God has placed the parts in the body, every one of them, just as he wanted them to be. If they were all one part, where would the body be? As there are many parts, but one body. So what he's saying is that God has placed each part in the body, and each part is valuable. That the differences are on purpose for a purpose. Let me say that again, that the differences are on purpose for a purpose. Let's continue reading in verses 21 through 27. He goes on to say, "The eye cannot say to the hand, 'I don't need you,' and the hand cannot say to the feet, 'I don't need you.' On the contrary, those parts of the body that seem to be weaker are indispensable. And the parts that we think are less honorable we treat with special honor. And the parts that are unpresentable are treated with special modesty. While our presentable parts need no special treatment, but God has put the body together, giving greater honor to the parts that lack it. So there should be no division in the body, but that its parts should have equal concern for each other. If one part suffers, every part suffers with it. If one part is honored, every part rejoices with it. You are the body of Christ, and each one of you is a part of it." That's what he's saying, that God has a purpose for each and every different part that he distributes. Each different part, each different spiritual gift belongs, and each different spiritual gift is valuable. Today, that is the question that is before us. Do we believe that each spiritual gift is a part of the body of Christ, that it belongs, and each spiritual gift that God distributes is valuable? Spend some time praying through that with God. Ask him to renew your mind with his truth, and maybe review and reread all of 1 Corinthians chapter 12. We'll see you next time.